Hello, welcome to another episode of Phi Mapping. Today we're going to look at a sea turtle. This particular sea turtle. This beautiful photograph by Francesco Ungaro from Unsplash. Hard to tell if it's a painting or a photograph, but it claims to be a photograph, so we'll go with it. And these are the maps we're going to use. We've got two different types, the Phi spiral map and the Fibonacci line map. These are the parent shapes which create these maps. If you'd like to learn more about those, check out Phi mapping, the video on Phi mapping, and let's try and find a base Phi rectangle here, just to see what exactly is Phi about this guy. So, that's one style there. Not perfect because the fins go out. So possibly, so we go to the width of the shell. It's going, if we go to the width of the shell, it's going roughly from the back point to the head. So the back ones and the front ones are sort of excluded. The head fits right about in there, and the neck joins right there. Now if we rotate that and go to the width of the shell, that's going to give us a different scale here. So if we use that scale, and we reduce it down by 61.8%, that will give us this scale, which is going to be approximately, so the fin, the front fin, is 1 Phi scale down from the width of the shell, and the back fins are going to be a little smaller than 1 scale down from the next one. And the head is about that long. This is the length of the next scale down. So it's about, so a bunch of those limbs are going to be Phi. So to illustrate that point a little further here, we could do a little mix and match. Let's get some circles. Look at our circles, and because it looks like those fins are ovals, let's make the oval the same as the circle, so that they'll both be the same lengthwise dimension, and then we'll scale both of those up to the width of the shell. We've got our ovals and our circles. So the shell is not a circle, but it is getting close to a circle. But let's say that that's 1 dimension, and these are 4 different levels of Phi here. I'm just trying to find what those connect to. Yeah, conceivably the ovals are better. Make them a little bigger. But not perfect. Okay. It's sort of the ovals, but it's not really the ovals. Let's try the phi map. We'll go for it. Go right out of the gate here. We'll go for the classic phi map. And we will stretch it to the whole body to see. No, it must be the shell. There's getting the shape. Is that getting the shape? A little bit. A little bit. We're not exactly lining up here. There, that's getting the back of the shell pretty well. I would say very well. In fact, maybe is down here a little bit. Right to the back, which puts the shell inside that circle, but and then vice versa. So no, can't do that. You cannot do that. So that's roughly, you see, that's roughly the back size of the shell there. So if that's phi, and we shrink that down by 61.8% to get this one, and shrink that down again to get this one. So these are two scales of the same type. Yeah, see, this curve is doing parts of things, so that front part, but then not the back part. Maybe parallel. I mean, it's really close. Like, it's really close. That's so close. Just loses it right up there. But this one's also very close. Putting it right on that phi mark. So that's a phi width to the length. Yeah, that's pretty good. And let's try the inverse of that. Inverse of the phi spiral. Again, we'll go to the width of the body. It's marking this point right here, which is that plate right there. So it's going from the back of the shell right to that point to the front of the head, and leaves this gap for the head to fit in, which happens right on that discoloration point. And then even this scrunchy neck part. And kind of suggesting that curve. Not totally, but possibly as sort of a range of motion type of thing. And then if we take that same scale, those lines that goes like that. And if this then goes like not sure how these two fit together. They might just fit together like this, which makes it too big. Anyway, to fudge it and line up those shells, kind of wants to do that. Which again is squaring the head. It's creating a overlap on the head there. And it does that shell really well. But that's about it. These are all 5 dimensions, so they're as long as there is 5 dimensions, each one of these maps is going to speak to something. So that's marking those points. This kind of wave action, and also for the fin itself. Let's check that out. That curve and then that inner curve, which I'm just kind of inventing because I can see it there. It's not necessarily real. Well, we could do the bigger one. Kind of. Okay, what if we try the tri-spiral? Let's try the tri-spiral, the Fibonacci, or the phi spiral is a single spiral, and then its cousin here is a tri-spiral. You can see all these little points here, which connect in these little vortexes. These things are little vortexes. That's almost getting the shell. But in truth, this is a game where almost doesn't cut it. Okay, let's try this electric line map here. This is a Fibonacci line map, and it is bisecting rectangles, phi rectangles. Can be a good map in that sense. We'll go to the width of the shell again. But there's not too many linear lines on this guy, so. But yeah, putting a cross right there and right there, those are 2 key points. Right in the back of the neck. If we move it back to the feet, which allows the neck to, or the head just to be exposed, so it's just beyond its phi body there. Then that's illustrating those shoulder points a little better even. What about the phi spiral linear map? Hmm. So these linear ones have particular spots that they like to join, where the lines go in sync with each other. And it looks to me like that spot is either here, which creates some interesting complexity there, or here as kind of, but that this one fits the legs better though, so the back legs better, I mean, does that really well. So, and sort of describes what that shell is doing. So that one's not bad. Also putting the fins up to that line right in the back of the head. Yep. And then if we rotate this, now certainly the grand master stroke here would be finding the shell pattern. But I, to be honest, don't think that's going to happen. That's not bad because it's putting the center point right in the direct center of the shell, which some of the other ones weren't. And this back circle fills out that area very well. Talks about this area. Puts those shoulders right in those circles. And then is this curve here is roughly similar to the edge of the shell there. Roughly similar. Certainly not the same, but similar. Put that right to the shell. I mean, none of these plates here are going to add up because they're not circles. So let's find something that's not exactly circles. Let's try this one. So essentially those plate shapes could be in one of these maps somewhere. Just have to find it. It's not jumping out at me. Again, this puts the center point right in the middle. Just talking a little bit about this effect here. That's going into the neck very nice. Its head's turned a little bit. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Let's try this guy. really doesn't seem to be a shape which does the entirety of the shell, which is interesting. I'd say it's fairly clear that the rectangle is something like this scale. But it just makes it too long to do the shell. There's no perimeter lines there which are encompassing the shell. I mean, they speak to all kinds of stuff. They're isolating the head where the legs come out. Let's see if these... No, we shouldn't adjust the size very much, because it's kind of doing that shell shape there. That's almost a square corner, isn't it? When you do it this way, that grand sweep, and then if we flip that one for the other way, so they're not exactly 45 here. I should have done them 45. So we'll at least do them relative to each other. And then just gets completely insane in there, but is kind of a little bit doing that. Yeah, I do not see where those shell plate patterns are. I really do not. Yeah. Let's try a circle map. The phi circle map. And that will conclude this exercise. So there is phi in here, but it's an amalgam of a bunch of different shapes found in these maps. There's not exactly maps that show it perfectly, but a few of those maps show different elements. You find the arms pretty well, the head, it's all phi, so there's a lot of phi dimensions in there. And that's not the best one. Let's just try the other circle map. Last one. Last one here, folks. I realize it doesn't really mean anything because they're not lining up, but that bottom part is kind of doing that shape and almost to that area, which is a length of about like that. Yeah. Cool. Great picture, Francisco. Great picture. Great picture. What a beautiful creature. Thank you very much, guys. Hope that was a little bit informative, and hopefully you'll join me on the next one. Take care. Have a great day out there. Bye.